I'll just do a walk around video, save people from coming out. Not a super clean boat, but very functional. No trailer brakes, new bearings, new tires. That is the new drive, brand new drive. Never been used. Swim step, that is just cutting board material, but that's a project. Cooler has a little mount on it. Really great floor space. New fuel tank, but the fiberglass work needs finished up. 2 huge fish boxes with drains. And there's actually Mercerator pumps but that plumbing needs dialed in and redone. Live well, that's a new pump, that works. 30 gallons of fresh water. 90 gallons of fuel. So really good fishing space, lots of rod holders. It can fish a lot of rods. Got a great crab device there. The seats swivel. You know, depending on what you're doing, you probably have them this way or that way. The gauges need the switches. I tried to redo the switches, but that needs a little bit of work. But it's functional. Those lights are handy for those early mornings, new antenna. And then of course the walk around that makes it super desirable. This window needs done. It's plastic, so you can at the hardware store. You know, multiple people can sit up here. Big anchor, more rod holders up at the front. Tons of rod storage on the roof. Light, horns new. That's good for ventilation. You know, it's decent walk around, right? It's like definitely bigger than a 21 foot that you're used to. We've got a new wash down pump to spray stuff down. I'll show you the engine. I don't keep the boat super clean and polished and buff, but I do a lot of maintenance on it. It's got 2 batteries. It's totally isolated. It's got separate breaker panels, 2 in the back, 2 in the front. It's got the electric switch to totally isolate the batteries so that you're never gonna have to ever worry about having a dead battery. 2 bilge pumps down here, they're new batteries, and then I got this onboard charger that's new. And since I did that, that was like a dream for battery life. It's got the Edelbrock carburetor. It's a 4-barrel Edelbrock carburetor. It's got the closed loop cooling system, so that way you're not ever putting salt water in your engine. So it's a pretty desirable setup. Plenty of power with the 5-liter. You know, it's probably 225 with the Edelbrock. It was rebuilt by Chinook Marine. I got it, it had 375 hours on it. I estimate maybe we're up to 900, but it runs great. I add some 2-stroke oil every year at the beginning of the season. So another project to do, this plastic is cracked, so that's going to need a little bit of work. It's got this Lowrance. It's older, but it's very functional for a fish finder and a depth finder and navigation if that's what you want. But I run a nice big tablet right here with like the Navonics system. So we got pretty nice big cuddy. This sleeps 2 adults. If you can get back, that sleeps 2 adults comfortably, right? That's a huge. I'll climb in here, show you what I'm talking about here. So I'm 6'1", and I still got room. So, and I'm not even to the end. And then that is another bed. That's an extra prop there, brand new stainless steel 4-blade. That's, well, the aluminum's brand new. The stainless steel 4-blade I had rebuilt at Oregon City. This radio is acting up. I have a brand new radio in the box for whoever wants it. But This is the sink for, it's a pump system for the water that drains out. Not a refrigerator, just storage. I just throw tackle in there and gear. And then there's storage, lots of storage. Under here, under this is all storage. These have, like all these have storage, and then underneath, we're underneath the table area. Rod storage if you want. So I'm standing up. So we're pretty deep. We're, you know, it's not small, right? So step up out. Wish this was a little taller. So it's definitely not a stand-up hard top, but it's a very functional boat. It's not a clean boat. It's set up. I fished it hard for 4 years. Traveled all over Washington, all over Oregon, ocean fishing, halibut, lingcod, salmon, all the things. Been to Eastern Washington. So it's super reliable. It is easy to work on, given it's an old Chevy. So, there's some maintenance that needs done. Like you got to do belts every year or two. And then I was doing a starter every year or two, but you know, I figured out what the issue was there, so I haven't had to do a starter for a while, but it's self-draining. I don't know if you know this. And then it also has drains there. And then these fish boxes also have drains. So when you wash it down, it just drains out. If you dump buckets, the reason I had an issue with starters every season, if you dump buckets, it'll spill over that drain. So if you get salt water up in the engine bay, and then after it sits in the fall or in the summer and it's all that mist, once you quit using the boat, the starter would get corroded. But I just figured out last season, every day we would just wash it down with fresh water. I would keep a shop vac on it because we had power at the marina, and we would just vacuum out any excess water that the bilge pump wouldn't take, and then we didn't have any issue after that. So it's super functional fishing machine, work boat, utility. And there's definitely some projects like that. And that, I mean, there's a handful of projects, but it's super capable, and there's definitely some room for some equity. I mean, like I paid 15 for it and I put 5 into it. So, but I'm not going to use it. I have another jet sled, and just with where I'm at with my kids, the ages of my kids, and they're all hanging out with friends. That antenna is brand new. The coax is all brand new. So lots of new, the scuppers are brand new. All the Mercerator pumps are all brand new. They're not hooked up. Like there's just a lot of work that's been done, and then a lot of work that's been started. And so that's the night light. So I've got downrigger plates there for the quick release. We tried downriggers a few times. That cooler, it works well, but cooler comes with it. The Honda 9.9, I just did new impellers on that. So it's all oil change, filter, service ready to go. So I didn't change the oil on this boat yet for this year. I may do that, I may not. It's not that hard to do if you have the right tool. So it's got the swim step. It's actually great for summer fun with kids. It's got trim tabs here that you can adjust. These are new. These are awesome, but they suck because they get leaves in them, and so you have to get a shop vac and clean them out every season, which we just washed. So that's annoying, but you can wake surf with this boat if you wanted. It'll wakeboard. It's running a pretty big prop, so it's got lots of get up and go off the bottom, which it's wide open throttle with, I don't know about this aluminum, it'll probably run 42. The stainless will run 38 miles an hour. It was at 41, but after the $380 prop rebuild, dropped me down to like 38. He added more cupping when he balanced it. So definitely not small. All the leaf springs are all brand new. All the linkage, all the leaf springs are all brand new. So, and I have a bunch of extras for this thing, like in the shop. I just moved, so we'll have to go through some stuff, but like I don't have a use for extra belts and starter and a bunch of extras. This will be amazing for if you want to crab. I've got a bunch of crab pots too. I mean, yeah, it's a really sweet boat. It's a cheap price. It's not cheap to run. It is cheap to run for how big it is. It measures out to like be from the back of that kicker with it down to the trailer tongue. It's 30 foot like 2 or 31 foot 2, something like that. So it's basically 30 feet or something like that. Or maybe it's, I tell the marina it's 28, but I think it's 30. Stainless steel walk handrail all the way around. So it's ugly and it's dirty, but it's super functional. I take it out on the ocean. I'd take it out on the ocean again this year if I was fishing it. So I don't try to keep it tidy, but I do take my kids out on here all by myself, just me and my kids. So I'm really take a lot of energy to make sure things are maintained and, you know, working well.